Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do K Anime Episode 2 review. Now, before I get started, I kind of want to get the laydown of the character names I know so far. There is the main character, Isane. And then there is, like, the character who had the most focus in this episode. And that was Neko. I believe so, yeah. It was between Neko and the Black Dog. Or his name is, Yatogami. I think it's, yeah. So his name is, so far, it's Isane, Neko, Yatogami. After Yatogami comes, I remember Yata. And Yata is the guy with the baseball bat who's part of Team Homura. So they're not, I mean, Firebird is, Team Firebird. No. They're actually called Team, well, they're not called Team, but they're known as the Homura. And, okay, so it's those four. Shit. Kusanagi, who is the guy with the glasses. Like, he's part of Team Homura. Kusanagi is the guy with the glasses. And so is Anna. That little girl with, like, the goth dress on. Her. So it's 7 people so far that I know. And I think that's it. Oh, yeah, and, the former, we don't, because I'm assuming he's dead, but the former 7th king, who his name was Miwa. And as of right now, that's all I know when it comes to names, because this series just chucked in like a bunch of fucking names in this episode. So once again, let me revise that one more time, and then we'll just jump right in. So Isane, the main character, Neko, Yatogami, Yata, Kusanagi, Anna, and Miwa. Alright, fine. So, that being said, and of course, I can't forget about Mikoto and Munakata, because those two were, those two last week episode was fucking hot, son. That shit, I can't get over that shit, man. Fucking Munakata. Bato. Yo, that shit had me hyped. But this week's episode of K, the anime, it was good. Because, again, like, I can see that they're actually introducing new characters to the whole entire spectra. At the same time, they are giving us not really like a backstory, but I can see the trend of the anime from this episode. I can see where we're going. So, I mean, I'm not gonna, have like a huge spoiler reveal, some of that shit. But I could be wrong, but we'll get into that later. Now, the thing here is that what happens is that overall, the episode revolved around Neko and her ability, which I'm not too sure what the fuck it was, okay? I'm not too sure. I want to say space manipulation? Maybe? I don't know. It was either space or reality manipulation. But every time Yatogami would get close to Isane, she would change, like, the location. Like, it was very, I don't know, like, she would change something. She would change something to where Yatogami couldn't get to them. I mean, he got close. He was tailing their asses and shit. But she was able to avoid him for like the longest, as was Isane. And then it was funny because like they got into a corner and shit. And then she like did like an illusion. Yeah, like maybe they're illusions. Like it's either illusions with like a mixture of like space manipulation, I'm guessing. And then what happened here is that like this illusion of like a cat wall appeared. And like he ran right through it. I went face first into an actual wall. So, I mean, very strange shit, but it was still, like this episode was pretty funny. It really was. I was laughing at some parts. And the reason why I was laughing at a lot of parts was because the OST. The OST, this shit is spot on perfect. Like, it is spot the fuck on perfect, alright? Because when there was one part where we see Yata, and Yata, I like him. I don't know why, I like him. He's like a little slugger, man. He's like, yeah! Like fire and shit, though. But Yata was fighting Yatogami, and what happened was that at some point, because Yatogami, like he's good, like he's outpacing Yata fairly easily, and at some point he does this little hand thing, and he grabs like a billboard and he chucks it at fucking Yata, and Yata gets crushed, and the OST stops right there, and then the moment Yata like hits it off the billboard, it picks up again. And so, like, the OST is pretty damn cool. Like, in that same part, where Yatogami is chasing after Isane and Neko, corners him into a wall, and then he runs into the wall. the OST and like his own personal soundtrack, you know, like dun 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 dun, like it just stops right there because he hits the fucking wall, and then he turns like dun 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 dun, like that shit was funny, son. The OST is yeah, the OST is done very well, very well. The animation, that I think the best part about this anime is overall the animation, because the animation is very good. Like it's very, very good. The world is very vibrant. Like I noticed that, and also I noticed how when Kusanagi, because what they did is that the Homura, they sent a hit or a bounty of 10 million yen on Isane. And I noticed how Anna, we don't know what she can do as of yet, but Anna has these little spheres, and then there's like a map on this Jeep. Like on top of the Jeep, there's like an indented map of the city. And so these spheres circle around. They stop at one area, and then Anna knows that Isane is in this area. And what happens here is that Kusanagi sends out, you know, like the information to the other Homura messengers. And I noticed how on his camera, on his phone, there was an actual picture of the map. He circles that area, and all of a sudden the picture comes to life, and then we see this data like disperse, like actual, like, you know, like visually, like away from the phone. Like it was very strange, but kind of like the screen came out of the phone and like it dispersed to like the other people that are connected with the Homura. I noticed that shit. So we can see that this is clearly a more technologically advanced society, or you know, like an advanced. Like I said before, probably around 2050, 60, something along that lines. That's what I'm assuming. But overall, again, episode, in my opinion, it was good. So when it comes to the summary, basically, it's just that we see at the beginning where Isane is actually tricking Yatogami in believing that he has like a sister, because Yatogami, he's not letting Isane go. Isane has to die. He has to die. But the thing here is that he tricks Yatogami in believing that he has a sister and shit. And then I don't know why Isane had flash grenades in his fucking handbag, but he had flash grenades. And so what happens here is that as Yatogami grabs the letter and shit, he looks at the letter. It says, "I lied." He's like, "What's this?" And then all of a sudden Isane turns away and shit. He's like, and then flash grenade, and then it appears as if Isane ran out the door and shit. But then what happened was, no, he was in a dog suit, like next to the fucking door, like just like on the floor and shit, playing mad dumb, playing dead. And Yatogami fell for that shit. So it was, you know, it was very funny. And then we see him in the dog costume walking around the city, and then at the same time, Homura puts out the hit. They put out the the 10 million yen, whatever. And people are actually like, they want this shit. They want this money, obviously. All right. And what happens here is that Anna sends in the location to Kusanagi. He informs the other members. He informs the other members of Homura to go to that location. Yata, he's fucking there. Like Yata's like, yeah, I'll be right there. And what happens is that Yatogami winds up in that same location because Isane is in that same location, and Isane actually diverts to the roof while Yatogami and Yata engage in combat. They have a pretty cool combat scene, you know, a little combat scene here where Yatogami again outpaces Yata, and then what happened is that what's his name? Isane goes up to the roof and shit, and he actually plays as if like Yatogami and him are like working together just to trick Yata. So Yata believes that Yatogami is working with Yata believes that Yatogami is working with Isane. The fucking names are confusing. But basically what happens here is that Isane runs away again, Yatogami beats Yata, and Yata gets pissed off, so Homura has completely lost track of Yatogami and Isane. At the same time, Yatogami actually pursues. I think that he actually grabbed like a pendant of. Yeah, he grabs like a pendant or like a button that was on Isane's shirt, and it has his school logo. So the next thing we see is Isane, and Isane is actually in like his hotel, or not hotel, apartment, I guess, or like a dorm complex. He's there chilling, sleeping, and all of a sudden, the cat right next to him turns to a chick, a naked chick with like big old titties. And it's like, what? It's like, it threw me off. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And she was the same chick from that ending that we saw in the last week's episode, like the ending. So now we know who she is and her name. And he's like, who are you? And she's like, I'm Neko. And I'm like, what? So again, it's very weird. Like, I want to say that she works for him because maybe he lost his memory, but I'm not too sure what's going on. Because again, when we see that scene, and apparently this person on the when they show you that scene in last week's episode, it was someone who looks very similar to Isane. In fact, it may be Isane. And the person who was video cameraing, you know, who was recording Isane was a member of Team Homura. Isane turned around, shot this guy, killed this guy, and that's why Team Homura wants Isane. Because Isane killed one of their members, and thus he must die as reprimands. But we don't know why. We don't know why Yatogami wants to kill Isane. We have no idea. I'm assuming that maybe Yatogami killed, that maybe Isane killed Miwa, who was the former 7th king. But then again, it's kind of like, if you kill these people, what do you fucking know, Isane? So, I don't know. Like, I think Isane is suffering from memory loss. He has to be. Otherwise, he would have known that, he killed this person from Team Homura, Homura, as well as killed the former 7th king. Either that or it's a double. Or like a brother. I'm not too sure what's going on, but we'll find out later on. And the thing here is that Yatogami actually winds up at the school, and he runs into that one chick who Isane always does errands for. And what happens here is that she takes him to the dormitory, and then Isane, so she's yelling, and she's like, yo, Isane, like, your friend's here. He's like, who? He looks in, and it's fucking bam, Yatogami. He's like, yep, here we go. And what happens here is that for the next, like, 5 minutes, we see Neko, and she's leading Isane away from Yatogami. And apparently, this took, like, a full day and a half. Because what happens here is that after all that shit, and by the way, one last thing I noticed. I noticed how, even though Neko was, like, partially naked, actually, no, she was almost, like, full-blown naked. I noticed how no one noticed her. And apparently, no one can see her unless they have some kind of ability, like a sanctum, maybe. I'm not too sure, because we know, I'm assuming that Yatogami has a sanctum, and by default, I'm also assuming that Isane has a sanctum. I have to assume that. So what happened here is that they're running away, and Yatogami is on the chase and shit. He's on the prowl, and this occurs for like a full-blown like day and a half. Like we see, like after we see all the animation scenes of like the illusions and the, I guess, reality warping or space warping, what happens is that we see like an overview of like the actual school, and then it goes from night to day again. I'm like, what the fuck? So like it's been like a full-blown day of continuous chasing. Then they wind back like in Isane's room and shit. And then what happens is that Isane is all tired and shit. They're all hungry, and all of a sudden Yatogami starts cooking, and I'm like, what's going on? Because apparently, like, they're all hungry and they're all chilling, and now they're eating like eggs and rice and all this shit. And that pretty much is the end of the episode, because like they all like clap their hands together, and then they say the whole entire, you know, the Japanese itadakimasu, and then that's it. Right there is the end of the episode. So again, it's very strange. I like it. It's very strange though. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here. I mean, clearly it's only episode 2, and we're gonna have more answers as the series progresses forward. But as of right now, I'm enjoying it. I think it's funny as fuck. Again, the OST, spot on. The animation, spot on. The characters, I like Yatogami. I like Yata. I don't know why. I mean, no, I know why. Because this guy is cool. Even though he's not all-powerful in comparison to Munakata or Mikoto or Yatogami, I still like him. The skateboarding, the fire thing, the punk, well, not like the bad boy look, like, you know, I like that shit. Isane, as of right now, I'm kind of getting used to him. He's not all that great, but maybe in the future of this episode, I mean, in the series, we may see more development towards the character Isane, and then he will probably grow on me as a character. And then, of course, there is the last person, which is, what's his name? The guy with the glasses. Oh, fuck, man. Kusanagi. Yeah, Kusanagi. I like him, too. So, that being said, and then Neko, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So, that being said, King Lightning, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe as always. And I'm signing out. Once again, overrated for this episode is going to be a good. Look down in the description below to the link of this week's episode of K. And I'm signing out. Peace. Have a nice day.